Good day, all. Ira Epstein, and here we are with your metal report, your weekend edition with your weekly charts and so on. But before I get there, I've done a special report on the dollar index, and it ties in with the metal report immensely because gold priced in dollars, so many commodities. I review for you in detail, and everything's time sensitive, by the way. We're going to go into the weekly charts. We're going to go into the dailies. We're going to go into the seasonals and the 15, the 30-year, the 5-year seasonals in gold. We're going to look at bull and bear market scenario as to where the market had been, because I now think it's back to a bull market scenario. And we're going to put it all together in a report that's there for you to look at, but it's only up on the website for 3 days. So to view it, just simply go up here. There's a cursor up here. Give it a click. That'll take you right to the report. That's the first thing. You can always call my staff if you need help, or you can go to iraepstein.com under research. So let's talk about where we're at in the markets, because it is an important time. Gold has come back from the 1625 area up about $140. Very nice rally. Copper market is pushing the $4 a pound area, not 400, but $4 a pound area. And the silver got over $22. So what's going on? This is what's going on. You have taken this market from 114 back to 106. So you'll still hear people saying, oh, the dollar's in a bull market. Is it? I don't think so. I think the dollar's made a turn, and it's got to go up there to prove it again. Now, could it go back up there? Sure, if inflation were to soar again. But what's happened is in the month of November, we have seen a weaker jobs report, and we have now seen a CPI, both headline and core CPI, slip. One report is not a trend. Two is a pretty good number that you're on your way to something, and that means we will be sitting on pins and needles for the December report. Now, between now and that report is 4 weeks, so there's a lot going to happen. The other event that's happening is I don't know that the Senate is going to make it into Republican hands. One of the Arizona senators won in the Democratic Party this weekend, so they need one more vote, and that's the game over. So this is switched. President Trump has had a very bad dealing. He had a terrible showing. Any way you want to cut it. The candidates he got behind, people were hoping his old black magic, not racial in any manner, please don't write me on that, it's a song, that would come back and do the job. And it didn't work, okay? And that means he's vulnerable. Now, this is the week where he's supposed to declare. We'll see what he does. Don't lose sight of all that. It's going to be an exciting week, politically speaking. You've got the remnants of the market run that took place this week off that. Have we pivoted in the Fed thinking? No, from my point of view. Yours might be different. Let me explain it. You might consider when the Fed moves from no interest rate to 25 basis point a pivot. I do. They had none going, and then they're suddenly giving you interest rates. But I don't consider from 25 to a 50 and from a 50 to a 75 pivots. I call them additions, but you're still keeping interest rates going. Agreed? You don't have to, but that's how I view it. Leave raising interest rates or in putting out interest rates anymore and go back to zero, that's a pivot. Go from zero to negative rates, that's a pivot. That's my definition of pivot. But I get what the market is saying. And the market is saying, okay, we're probably not going to see a need for 75 basis point hikes unless all of a sudden the December inflation reading for November comes in red hot. And if it comes in red hot and it goes up, was this the aberration? And inflation's still there. If it comes in status quo to softer, I think you get the argument that we're dropping. But do you think the Fed's going to stop raising interest rates in December? Do you think they're going to stop in the first quarter of next year? I rated it 0 chance that they'll do any of that. Maybe there's a 0.1% chance. That's what I'm viewing. So when I look at the gold market, especially on a monthly chart, which I don't use in any manner other than to show it here, the neutral number is $17.94.5, $30 roughly, $25 higher than where we're at right now. On the weekly chart, it's very important what happened this week. Let's step back together. Here is the market last week, November 4th. You still had the pattern of peaks that were lower high peaks. And all of a sudden, we jumped and we broke that. That is the end of the bear run in the gold market. Yes, you can get under that and restart the whole process, but you'd have to get back under that 16 and a quarter zone. That's pretty far from where you're at right now. When you come to the weekly bar chart, the market, I'm going to come back here because it's so important. The market made a stand. We talked about it. It didn't go unnoticed by me. And now you have a pattern of a lower and low, higher high. That is bullish. Or is it? It's not bullish. It's the end of a bear move. The same thing happened in the gold on the weekly chart. The end of a bear move, market coming back up. Maybe it'll run to the 100 week, but waiting with it is the other ally of it for resistance, the Bollinger Band top. The odds of staying under or over a Bollinger top, 5% of the time you do it. So those are where your big time resistance zone is, 180310. Is there a reason to get long here? Well, if you're like I am and you look at a trend as being made up of higher lows, higher highs, there isn't. You don't have that. You have a lower and low, higher high. We had the end of a bear run. I'm not convinced it's the beginning yet of a bull run. I need more chart work. Momentum-wise up. So two things have happened. You have the bias up since you're over the 18-week average and momentum up, but you don't have that pattern. What about on pullbacks where support, in theory, might come in? Well, why not? The 200-day average, 1692.30 to 1708.10. The gold-silver ratio continues to favor silver, gaining on gold. And you see that because it's over the upper Bollinger Band. Would I ever tell you to buy silver over an upper Bollinger Band? No. Would I tell you to come out of long silver against the 200-day average and the first challenge of a Bollinger Band? Yes. Does that mean I'm bearish? No. So the market had a nice run, but it hasn't been trending. It's just been doing this. This trend ended right here. When this took place, you broke the pattern then of the silver in a downtrend. And since then, you've been whipsawing back and forth. The copper market is looking at positives out of China. Suddenly, the Chinese government has said, foreigners coming in, no more 10-day quarantine, no more 7. We're going to 5 now. Yes, we're going to let foreigners in our country take Western medicine for their vaccines. Now, quietly, if you're reading the news, some of the scientists in the Chinese community in China are saying they expect some more relaxation of the zero COVID. But it's not going to be that you go to your wall and you flip the switch. That's not what they do. They go in and they take very graduated steps. Again, the whole thinking of that economy, we're all going to be gone as the things still keep going on there. This is part of that Asian thinking, especially the Chinese thinking. Remember that. Do some reading. You will discover it. It's a very long-term picture, bigger than the current leaders, okay? Much longer in scope. Well, that's how they're treating their medicine. Do we think it's wrong as Westerners? We do. Is it being proven it's wrong? Yes, if you're looking at their economics. But from their point of view, which I don't understand, it's probably right. Okay, who am I to tell them what to do? I'm nobody. Therefore, I look at it, I can see it coming up. Freeport's looking great if you're watching Freeport-McMoRan. They're doing great. And we know that there's talk, and has been talk, and I've mentioned it over and over, that one of the big plays I've been looking for, I did it last year, and then I came out, knock on wood, in time of my thinking, and now I'm starting to plant copper thinking in the back of my head. Because when the U.S. stops its interest rate hikes, others are going to stop theirs. Their economies will come back. $5 copper is where I think you'll be. I'm that bullish. So, again, you can't, there's not enough resources of it. And it's used in everything. Everything. And the Chinese are throwing billions now at their property market. They did it on Friday again. And that means infrastructure building. New buildings got to be completed for people to put down money on them that never got started. Copper again. So that's how I look at it. Platinum coming alive. Okay. So that part's also there, and you put it all together and you're trying to come up with game plans as to what you can do with these markets. No, I'm not going to cover the dollar index right here because of what? Well, why should I when I've got the special report for you? That's the whole thinking. So again, to view my special report, just take your cursor, move it up to the top here, give it a click. As I said, it's only up 3 days, and that's it. It's gone. And I'll be doing another series of reports. Might do them on the stocks or ETFs now, in fact. Told you I'd do more. This coming Thursday, I'm going to have a live webinar. Wait for the invite. It'll come into your mailbox. So first come, first serve for the seating. I'm Ira Epstein. You have a good day. I'll see you Monday.